I'm gonna need you to put your conspiracy hat on for this one. Conspiracy is not a bad word. Because I was watching the news and something caught my attention. Scientists have now used AI to design brand new viruses. And when I say brand new, I mean viruses that never existed in nature. Let me repeat that. Didn't exist in nature. AI helped design the genetic blueprints. Scientists synthesized them. And some of those viruses actually worked. Now, before somebody jumps in my comments saying, Mr. Burns, we're all about to turn into zombies. Hold up. Peep this first. I gotta show you. Let me show ya. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at that. Watch this one. Keep it ready. Go.
Reality.
Researchers in the US have for the first time used artificial intelligence to design new viruses.
It's been hailed as a very significant turning point.
What could possibly go wrong?
There's also concern
Everything.
that technology could create new and yet unheard of bioweapons.
Sound like something from a sci-fi movie, but this is real. A US team have used artificial intelligence to design completely new viruses. Well, coming up, we'll assess what it means, including questions it raises about safety and biosecurity. First, what exactly did the researchers actually do?
Tell me.
AI has been used to design simple structures like antibiotics before.
But now, for the first time, AI has designed the entire genetic code, the whole genome of viruses that aren't found in nature.
Scientists took these AI designs and attempted to make them in a lab.
It works a bit like ChatGPT, but instead of predicting sequences of words, these AI models predict the language of life.
And instead of being trained on books and websites, these AI models were trained on genetic codes from viruses.
Hold up. Let's first separate fact from the what if. Because the virus in this particular experiment were bacteriophages or phages, they call them. Viruses that infect bacteria, okay? Look it up. They're not designed to infect humans. Researchers deliberately trained the AI on bacteriophage sequences, including viruses known to infect humans, animals, and plants. And some of the bums, right, of the resulting viruses were able to attack E. coli in the laboratory. That comes from The Guardian. Go read it. So, no. I'm not telling you that scientists just created a human zombie virus. They didn't. But here's the part that made my brain go, wait a minute. I was gonna curse, but not. Because we're talking about the artificial designing something biological that nature never made. AI can't do that. And then I remembered something, okay? Something really weird. Something that the CDC itself did. And that's when the story... this is where it gets interesting. Somebody explain this shit to me. I'm trying, please. I'm trying not to curse. Just am. Okay? Here's the CDC zombie connection. You know what's funny? We're all seeing zombie movies, right? Zombie TV shows, zombie video games. I like them. I like both of them. It got to be a dope game first. Dope fire. People running around just like zombies. You know the zombie runs? People actually do that. They actually participate. Like, I want to go to one. It's entertainment. It's funny. I hope they got food that I will go. It's fictional, but then I found out something. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention actually created a zombie preparedness campaign. Not some random conspiracy website. Not TikTok. Not some dude sitting in the basement wearing a tinfoil hat. I'm not talking about shit like that. The CDC. In 2011, the CDC published Preparedness 101. Zombie Apocalypse. And they created a graphic novel. What's wrong with me? I need to start smoking more. Preparedness 101 Zombie Pandemic. But then I'm trying to quit. I just fight for me too much. And here's what's really interesting, okay? People, this. The graphic novel follows people dealing with strange new diseases, diseases that spread through the population and turned people into zombies. This came from the CDC. It's called a strange new disease, turning people into zombies. I don't know, but it's wrote from them. I gotta look it up. That's literally the premise of the whole book. The CDC stated purpose was used to zombies as an entertaining way to teach people about emergency preparedness. Honestly, for real, the explanation does make sense. If you're prepared for a ridiculous zombie apocalypse, you're probably more prepared for a hurricane, earthquake, and epidemic or other disasters. And the CDC's own archive material says exactly that. But I'm sitting here in 2026, and now we're living in a world where AI is generating biological sequences. And scientists are creating functional viruses from those AI generated designs. So I'm asking the question nobody asked me to ask. Why does this feel like a movie? Now let's connect the dots, okay? I'm a question actually. I just all these movies I be watching and shit. I'm not saying CDC knew something or knows something. I'm not saying the government has a secret zombie bunker. I'm not saying there's a government scientist sitting on the ground somewhere going, sir, we're gonna need a bigger cage. I'm not saying that, but conspiracy entertainment is about asking, what if? So let's play the game. What if? Let's do it. The zombie idea was never really about dead people walking around in your face. What if zombies was just an easy way for people to understand a terrifying biological event? A mysterious disease. A rapidly spreading infection. People behaving abnormally. Hospitals overwhelmed. People isolated. You remember that. Government emergency protocols. Quarantine. Evacuation. Panic. Wait. Society breaking down. You actually need a dead person to get up and eat somebody's face. You don't need that. You don't need that. You just need a disease that changes human behavior dramatically enough and spreads faster than we could control it. One of my good movies is that I Am Legend. And that is where it gets uncomfortable. All that crap. My mind's everywhere. But me, I bring the Bible into it because I've always been fascinated by the Bible, el Bible. And whether you a believer or not, you can only deny some of the imagery of scriptures actually they say in the Bible. Look, take Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel is shown a valley filled with dry bones. And God asked him, can these bones live? Something like that, right? And the bones came together. Tendons appeared. Toma! Flesh came on them, and breath enters them. And they live. Now, let's be responsible here. The passage has a specific prophetic meaning in the biblical context, okay? It isn't saying one day scientists will create zombies. That's not what the passage says. But picture the imagery through the eyes of someone living in 2026. Dry bones, dead bodies, life returning. And meanwhile, humanity has developed a technology that could manipulate biological systems at a level our ancestors could even imagine. Maybe not. That's a different story. Just be everywhere. Whatever. Slow down, brain. That's when my mind starts scratching. Like, my mind does start scratching the brain. What exactly are we capable of creating? What exactly are we capable of creating? Now go to Revelation 2013. I knew the Bible. The Bible says, the Bible says, the sea gave up the dead who were in it, and death and Hades gave up the dead who were in them. That's not a zombie movie. That's scripture. And the passage is talking about judgment and resurrection. not a biological outbreak. But think about the imagery. The dead are given up. The dead are standing again, and they're being judged. Then Revelation 9:6 gives another disturbing image. It says people will seek death, but will not find it. They will long to die, but death will elude them. How do I remember this stuff? Now that sounds something like right out of a horror movie. How I see it. But here's the important part. I'm not telling you Revelation is describing the virus. I'm saying the imagery is disturbing enough that when you combine it with modern biotechnology, your brain naturally starts making connections. And that's where we enter the conspiracy theory. Now, here's the question I can get out of my head. If AI can learn patterns contained inside biological information and then generate something new, where does the capability end? Today, bacterial phage, or phage, I always say that shit. Phage? Viruses that attack viruses of bacteria. Tomorrow, maybe better treatment for antibiotic-resistant infections. That's actually one of the reasons this research is exciting. But what about 10 years from now? 20? What happens when the technology gets dramatically better? What happens when AI understands biology at a level humans can't? And here's the uncomfortable part. Scientists themselves are already discussing the biosafety and biosecurity implications of AI-generated viral genome. Not because these particular viruses are secretly killing humans, they aren't, but because the underlying capability raises a legitimate question. Ready? What happens when the technology becomes powerful enough to design a biological system we don't fully understand? That's not conspiracy. That's a real scientific and policy question. Now, what about our pets? And this is where I bring this back to my world. Pets. Because I'm sitting here thinking about my dog, my cats, your dogs, your cats, your animals. And I'm wondering if there were a major infectious disease emergency. What happens to the animals? The CDC already recognizes that diseases can move between animals and people. That's called, that I know, zoonotic disease. And the CDC has an entire healthy people program dealing with diseases associated with animals. It also recommends having emergency plans for pets. So no, I'm not saying some AI designed some bacterial phage is going to infect your dog. That's not what I'm saying. But if humanity ever encounters some crap like that, like in the past, pathogen that affects both humans and animals, your pet isn't just an ancestry. Your pet is part of your emergency plan. He's not an accessory. Because your dog isn't going to understand, honey, there's a biological emergency. Your dog's going to look at you like, okay, but did you bring my treats? Here's the part that really makes me scratch my head. Again, think about this timeline, 2011. The CDC says zombie apocalypse. They create a zombie pandemic, graphic novel. They teach emergency preparedness to a fictional outbreak, CDC stats. 10 years go by. Zombie culture explodes. Movies, television, games, zombie runs. Yeah, y'all laugh, right? Y'all laughing? Everybody laughs? Then, 2026, AI is being used to design viruses that didn't exist in nature. Scientists actually synthesized some of those designs. Some of them function. And suddenly, we're having serious conversations about the risk of AI generating or AI generated biological systems. Now, is that a connection? No evidence says it is. Could it simply be coincidence? Absolutely. Could the CDC zombie campaign simply have been a clever public health education campaign? Could the Bible passage be more spiritual prophecy rather than biological technology? Absolutely. Absolutely. Gotta ask questions. Don't take my word for it. But here's the conspiracy question. What if we're looking at three completely different things and our brains are connecting them because they all revolve around the same ancient human fear? Death, disease, resurrection, loss of control, and the end of the world. What if the zombie was never the point? I think too much. Think about this. Maybe, just maybe, the zombie was never supposed to be taken literally. Maybe the zombie is a metaphor. A human being who is alive but a bum and don't do nothing. I'm chilling. But no longer behave like themselves. A person controlled by something. A person whose behavior has changed. A person who's still walking. Go to Philadelphia. The drug epidemic got real zombies there. People, oh, man, different story. Just kidding. Still breathing, they're walking and still breathing around, but change their fundamental has changed. Or now ask yourself this, right? I don't want to keep going on with that. Could biology ever alter human behavior? Of course it can. Diseases can affect the brain. Neurological conditions can affect behavior. Contain infection, can affect the nervous system. So the concept of an illness changing behavior isn't science fiction, but a Hollywood-style zombie apocalypse? I don't know. That's fiction, at least based on everything we know today. That's exactly why I'm not going to sit here and tell you zombies are coming. You already know, man. I want y'all to ask questions. I'm not gonna ask something much. I'm gonna ask you guys something much better, much more interesting. What happens when humanity becomes capable of creating biological things that nature never created? Huh? What happens? Remember I tell you ask questions? Remember? I'm not giving. Maybe the conspiracy isn't the government knows zombies are coming. No. Maybe the real conspiracy is much simpler. Maybe humanity is moving so fast that our technology is becoming more powerful than our ability to understand the consequences. AI can write. AI can create images. AI can generate music. AI can mix music dope as hell. AI can write computer programs. And now, AI can help design biological systems. That's a completely different level of power. And once you can design biology, you better have some damn good rules. Oh my God, just think of because you just can't hit Command Z and undo something and escape into the world. You just can't do it. You can't unplug biology. You can't put DNA in a recycle bin. You can't say, oops, my bad. Can't do that. You can't, Anthony Fauci. So are we watching prophecy? Here's where I'm going to piss off both sides. Got to. I want you to open your brains. The believers are going to say, see? Bible prophecy. But can't explain nothing. And the skeptics are going to say, this guy has a lot. This guy lost his brain. This guy lost his brain. And you know what I'm going to say? Shut up. Calm the bleep down. Calm down. Because we don't know. I can't prove that AI has anything to do with biological prophecy. Connect dots. I can't prove the CDC zombie campaign has some hidden meaning, but I connect dots. I can't prove humanity is headed towards a zombie apocalypse, but I connect dots. But I can't prove these things. AI has now been used to design novel functioning viruses. The CDC really did create a zombie pandemic preparedness campaign. They did that. The Bible really does contain passages about resurrection, the dead being raised, judgment, and terrifying end-time imagery. Oh my God, the Bible. And scientists really are asking serious questions about the future risk of AI-generated biological systems. Those are facts. Everything else, that's where the conspiracy theory begins. But you know why it begins? We don't have a lot of answers these days, don't we? We don't got a lot of answers coming to us. So here's my question for you. If tomorrow morning the government announced there's a new infectious disease spreading rapidly, what would you do? Would you be prepared? Would you have food, water, medicine, batteries, a way to communicate? Like walkie-talkies? You know, everything. I'm not trying to get there right now. That's not the point. And most importantly, would you have a plan for your animals? Or are you just going to leave them there? A lot of you motherfuckers will. I don't mean to curse, but that just irks me because I know y'all bums would. Because your dog doesn't care whether the emergency is a pandemic or a hurricane or a flood. See what happened in Louisiana? The damn zombie apocalypse. Your dog just knows you are their human and they're depending on you. How can I try to be objective, right? On both sides. That you can't try did do right as a conspiracy do. No, I just want y'all to ask questions. That's the best way to go about it. I want you to ask questions. These days, nobody is asking questions. You want to hear my view on it? Yeah, this is going to be on YouTube, so I'm got to say this. This is for entertainment purposes. I'm trying to talk like robots. Hey, I know. This is for entertainment purposes. The Bible Coalition. I'm not talking about AI right now. I'm talking about the virus. Doesn't it? Okay. Prophecy, a lot of the prophecy was written by John. There's too many. There's two Johns. The later John. Keep in mind that they could only describe what he could only describe what he was seeing when he was in the vision form. When he was brought to see everything in the future. He never saw, in their time, there was no helicopters, no tank. There was no computer chips. But he did his damnedest. Right? He said damn. He did his best to describe what he was seeing. I see something coming. And it looks like a mist. Right? It's a pink mist. And it landed on my dog. And it transported my dog somewhere. And then I found my dog down the block. I never saw that type of mist before. It was like liquidy and it looked like video game cubes, and then it was just almost I saw salt and pepper in there. You see what I mean? If there's something that was from the future or something I couldn't describe, I said, man, it looked like you know when you cough up and when it's cold and all the hot thing, but it was colorful. See, we use things that we can associate to describe what we saw, what we're seeing. Same thing with John. Same thing with that. So when he said the zombie, not zombie, anything. When the Bible says the dead, the Hades gave up the dead and the water dead, the sea, and hell gave up the dead. Could it have been maybe the people were released and they went into their bodies? People's souls or their spirits, and they went into their bodies and they came out the grave, but they look ugly still. They're not pretty. They stink. They're walking around. Just think about it. if they're coming from hell or Hades, how are they gonna look? I don't, because they're gonna go to war against God. How are they gonna look? You think they was resurrected with a dope body? The Christians get the resurrection. You know, they said they come down with a new. It says we get we'll have a heavenly body and all that stuff. So why? Tell me why. I'm pretty look pretty. Or a nice body. Me personally, I don't believe in zombies. I don't. But I believe people's mind can change and they might act a different way. How do you know it might make them become feral? How do you know it would just make them, their mind switch off or on and now they become rabid and they got a thirst for flesh or I don't know, but shit. Dealing with AI? I have a gentleman coming on my show. Oh, yeah, you hit my brain. That's why I'm talking about this thing. I have a man coming on my show. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Actually, let me see that guy here now. You know what? You could tell about my, I got a lazy brain. I be all tired. What's his name? I don't know. His name is, the retired military dude. I forgot his name. Army? I know his first name is Brace. You know, he's the author. Bro, forgive me. Forgive me, but I can remember your last name. I really can't. But anyway, we are going to talk about the AI. Because he worked in the government. Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, he did. I don't get on here to try to make anybody believe me or what I say, okay? Because let every man be a liar and God be true. But I want y'all to ask questions. Just ask questions. Oh, my God, just ask questions. Listen, I don't want to digress. I'm going to get back. Did AI create the zombie apocalypse, or is it? No. Do we have evidence that these new AI designed viruses affect humans? No. Were the virus in this experiment designed to attack bacteria? Yes. Did the CDC actually publish a zombie pandemic preparedness campaign? Yes. Does the Bible actually talk about dead being raised? Yes. Does Revelation contain imagery about people seeking death and not finding it? Yes. Does any of that prove that we're watching the beginning of the apocalypse? No. Only the fools can't know the sign. Only the fools don't know the signs. But here's the question that keeps me awake not every night, but it does bother me sometimes. Maybe the scary part is not somebody predicting the future, okay? Maybe the scary part is that we're developing technology capable of making things possible that used to exist only in our imagination. Because once upon a time, a machine that could talk to you sounded impossible. Then we built it. A machine that could generate realistic pictures sounded impossible. Then we built it. AI writing genetic code that sounded like science fiction. Now, we're watching it happen. So maybe the question isn't, are the dead about to arise? Maybe the question is, how far are we willing to go before we realize we've created something we can't control? We already done that with the AI. And if that day never comes, I hope somebody remember to pack the dog food. Because if it does, I'm not leaving my dog behind. Hell no. This is Stupid People with Pets. I'm Mr. Burns Sativa. Question everything. Believe what you can prove. And when somebody tells you something is impossible, don't automatically believe them. Don't automatically believe them. Because sometimes the craziest shit starts with somebody saying, that could never happen. Ha! I'll see you next time.
viruses, bacteria, plants, and people.
They were then refined to create a type of virus known as a bacteriophage, which infect only
Wow, that's bananas.
specific species of bacteria.
16 virus
Right,
designs
right.
were a success and were able to kill bacteria.